Okay, so this is my debate video for you, and our group, I was part of the group that said that employment should be based on smoking use and obesity, and I gave my facts to my group through a Google Doc, so I don't know if they were able to use them or not, but these were my facts and kind of what I came up with, and here is my argument, because I was part of supporting evidence. So here is my supporting evidence. According to the argument, should nurses be expected to be role models for healthy lifestyles, it is extremely important for nurses to be role models for their patients because of patient perception. So when patients are looking at their nurse, they are already perceiving how they feel their nurse is going to perform. So it's extremely important for us to be good role models for healthy lifestyles because our patients are going to be watching us and kind of judging us and our nursing abilities based on how we appear. I have 3 other arguments as to why it is important to employ based on healthy lifestyle choices such as obesity and nicotine use. And one is when nurses live healthy lifestyles, they do in fact appear more credible and competent to their patients. So a patient's going to look at their nurse and say, man, like, she went through all this education, yet she's still making these unhealthy habits, and she must not be taking her career that serious, or maybe she doesn't know how serious it is. And there are all kinds of thoughts that could be put into our patients' minds. This kind of mirrors the effect of getting advice from financial advisors. You want to make sure that when you choose a financial advisor to go over your financial status, you're going to choose someone who is able to finance their own money. You're not going to want a financial advisor who's broke. Sure, it might be his personal funds, but there's something sketchy about getting money advice from a person who can't even manage their own money. Same with nursing. You want a nurse who's able to apply the education that they received in nursing school into their own life. Because if they're not, then are they taking it that serious? Once again, that goes on to more questions and concerns patients are going to have based on whether you smoke or if you're eating unhealthy. 2, nurses have an extremely demanding job. They are lifting patients, they are moving patients, they have to be able to have the strength to pick up patients. When you smoke or you are obese, those types of movements and activities become more difficult for you and hinder you to complete your job to your fullest potential. So it is important for nurses to have a good healthy lifestyle, to be working out, to stay strong, and to not be, making it harder for them to breathe due to their fact that they smoke, because you're on your feet 12 hours. If you got to rush to a patient, you got to rush to a patient. And you have to be able to perform these extensive nursing activities that go along with doing your job. You also have to be able to, if one of your patients falls, you need to be able to hold them up and support them before they have a fall. So that is why it is important to be working out and to be living that healthy lifestyle. The 3rd point is that nurses have received this education of a healthy lifestyle, and dismissing it comes across like you're dismissing your education, like it's going in one ear and out the other. This is scary for patients. Patients want to feel like you are the master of your education, like you know everything. That's what's going to make them feel better. And if you look like you might have, just made it through nursing school, or you might not know everything, they're going to get more nervous about their nurse. So that's why it's important to reflect the education you have received. And that doesn't necessarily, in other terms, that's if a patient has a question about very simple medications, such as a beta blocker, a metoprolol, and you don't know it, or you seem apprehensive about answering that question, to them it's like she doesn't know her stuff. So if you've given this education as to how to live a healthy lifestyle and you aren't doing it, it seems like you dismiss that education, which is going to make your patients more nervous. Now, the rebuttals that I came up with are that some people may argue that it's beneficial to talk to someone who understands the hardships of a smoking addiction or obesity. And yes, while some patients may find it beneficial to talk to a nurse who is trying to quit smoking, we have to go and think about what types of conversations those are going to look like. So if someone's saying, oh man, it is so difficult to quit smoking, and that nurse is saying, oh, I know, I get it completely, I understand, it is really hard, it's almost allowing them to think, man, it's not that serious, even my nurse can't do it, and she knows how important it is. And you're kind of hindering them and allowing this leeway of, I know it's really hard, so just do your best kind of method, because the nurse herself can't even quit smoking. And then the other thing is that some people may feel that their habits are a personal lifestyle choice. And while yes, your lifestyle is a personal thing, when you take on the role of a nurse, you're kind of allowing people to somewhat judge your own health, like to judge how you take care of your health because you're taking care of their health. So if you have a cop who just pulled you over for texting and driving, and then the next day he comes home from work and he's texting and driving, you're going to think, man, not only is that cop a hypocrite, but he's not even a legitimate cop. People might look to him as like kind of not qualified for the job. If he can't even obey the laws, why do I have to? It's kind of along those lines of, my nurse is expecting me to take on these healthy etiquettes and they can't even do it themselves. So there's kind of like that gray line of having to be a role model for your patients and being able to discuss with them and having an objective point of view. Once you start saying, yeah, I get that, I've done that too, you're solidifying to them that even their nurse has done it and it's okay. Because in the patient's mind, that could be what they're thinking, and that's not a message we should be giving to patients. We want to be good role models for them and mirror health so that if they have any questions on, about how do you do it, you're a busy nurse, how do you eat healthy, you can talk about meal prep because you yourself are practicing that. So it is a good thing to do, and you should have a good healthy lifestyle. And you shouldn't smoke so that you represent and mirror good health for the patients to see in flesh and blood.